welcome back. Today I want to talk about stories. Now, a lot of the time when we are speaking about stories, we're referring to our life's story and, the fun things that we tell people about where we've come from and what we do. And this sounds really positive. What I'm talking about today are the stories that hold us back, the limitations, the limiting ideas, and the limiting beliefs. And they're often stories that we walk around with and we carry around with. Now, sometimes our life story is the story. Like, I can't do this because I'm such and such. And I really feel passionate about sharing with you how to let go of your stories because it gives you ultimate freedom to go for the things that you really truly want without the drama. Like, think about this. Okay, there's a weird bird outside. Just please excuse that. I don't know what's going on out there. Anyway, so I was chatting with a client recently and she said to me, I really want to get out of debt. Now, I've done all these amazing things in my life, but I can't shake my debt. And this is huge for me. Did you hear the story in that? When she said, this is huge for me, she made the debt a mountain instead of a simple thing that you can break down and check off over time. Now, we place so much meaning on the things around us that sometimes we forget that the things around us are absolutely meaningless. Our goals don't necessarily have meaning. It's the meaning that we place on them that makes them big and important and special. And there's nothing wrong with that, except when you're placing really heavy meaning on something and it's actually blocking you from taking steps forward. Like, you feel like you really want to do it, but you don't know what's stopping you. So let's talk about that. So another story that I've heard is, well, I am this or that. I am broke, or I am too short, or I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I am not good enough. And this is a story that someone might carry around with them that dictates whether or not they can simply go for what they want. Other stories can relate to, it's hard for me because, or I don't know what I want. These are all stories. And when we let go of our justifications and our beliefs around what we say and think and do, we let go of our stories and we ultimately become free. So A Course in Miracles says that there's no order in miracles. And just for your refreshment, a miracle is simply a shift in perspective. And there's no order in them, whether they're big or whether they're small. It's the same amount of effort to create a shift in perspective that is big or small. It's simply the meaning that we place on it that makes it feel big and huge or like no big deal whatsoever. In the law of attraction, they say it's the same amount of effort to manifest a paperclip as it is to manifest a castle. Now, there might be some extra time involved. Maybe that's a story. However, it's really important to note that across the board, the general consensus is it's the meaning that we place on things and the story that we place on them that actually we are getting ourselves in the way of what it is that we want to create. So if you've got a story and you're recognizing it, I want you to think about something that might be really weighty that you want to actually create. Like, maybe you want to meet someone and get married one day and it feels like the hugest deal because you've never met someone that you really liked before and you've had a pretty bad string of people in the past. Or maybe there's something financial that you want to achieve and it feels really, really huge because you've never believed in yourself to be able to create huge financial abundance. Perhaps there's a big win that you want to have and you're an athlete and you've never won this thing before and you're making it a huge, huge deal to get in there and do the same thing that you've done in every other tournament or game, except this one has a bigger trophy or a bigger meaning or a higher, maybe you've got a story around your self-worth about winning. I know I used to do that for sure. Once you can let go of these stories, you can see things for what they really are and break them down into really small sized chunks and then just go for them and ditch the drama. And it's super fun. So the first thing I want you to do is think about what it is that you want. And if there's a story around not knowing, just know that that's a story and write down the stories that you've got around why you can or why you can't do it. The second thing I want you to do is stop and take a deep breath. And then I want you to look at every single thing that you've just written down and say to yourself, that's a story, that's a story, that's a story, and that's a story, and just cross them all out. Now, the final step is really interesting. The final step is to be willing. And what I mean by that is be willing to see this differently. Now, as I said before, a miracle is a shift in perspective. And if you think that it's going to take a bloody miracle to create the thing that you want to do, then a shift in perspective is just what you need. So asking yourself, I'm willing to see this differently. how can I see this differently? You start inviting in opportunities and circumstances and people and experiences into your life that allow you to start seeing your stories differently and letting them go. And really, this is all that it takes, because when you let go of the stories, you let go of the heavy weighted meaning, and you free yourself up enough to break things down into tiny little chunks and get started on what it is that you want. So, what is your story? I want you to write to me in the comments below, and your dare is to tell me what your story is, and just write after it, I'm willing to see this differently. And I think you're really cool if you do that, because it's very, very brave, and it's allowing yourself to completely just let go of things and not hold on to them anymore. If you want more support with this, I have a beautifully unstoppable starter kit. If you're one of my tribe members, you'll already have it. If you're not, come and sign up to hayleycart.tv and you'll get that for free, along with some other cool goodies. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye! But I don't know what I want. No, I don't do that. I don't know how. But no one's ever done it before, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I've actually never looked. I'm a mum. When am I going to have time to do that? I have a full-time job and a husband and a dog. I don't have time to do this. Costs too much money. Nah. My kitchen's messy. I can't start until my kitchen is clean. In fact, I can't start until everything's clean. In fact, I've got a few things I need to pay off before I can't start yet. There's things to do.